being smart and living well, stick around. Let's talk about extreme couponing. We've all seen the shows, right? People walking out of the grocery store with a year's supply of toothpaste for $1.99. It's impressive, sure, but is it always practical? Think about the time commitment involved. Hours spent scouring flyers, clipping coupons, and matching deals. That's time you could be spending on other things, like working on a side hustle, learning a new skill, or even just relaxing with a good book. Remember, time is money too. And then there's the temptation factor. Extreme couponing often leads to buying things you don't actually need, just because they're a good deal. Suddenly your pantry is overflowing with 5-gallon drums of mayonnaise, and you're wondering what you were thinking. Not to mention, a lot of coupons are for processed foods and sugary drinks. Saving money on unhealthy choices isn't a win, especially if it leads to health problems down the road. Instead of becoming an extreme couponing ninja, focus on being a strategic shopper. Make a list of what you actually need, check for sales on those items, and use coupons wisely. Remember, a good deal is only good if you'll actually use the product. We've all heard the saying, "You get what you pay for," and honestly, it's often true. This is especially relevant when it comes to products. It's tempting to go for the cheapest option every time, but sometimes that can cost you more in the long run. Think about it, that super cheap coffee maker might seem like a steal, but if it breaks down after a few months, you'll end up buying a new one anyway. Suddenly you've spent more than you would have on a slightly more expensive, higher quality model that would have lasted you years. This applies to everything from clothing to electronics to furniture. Cheaper items are often made with lower quality materials and construction, meaning they're more likely to wear out, break, or need replacing sooner. That doesn't mean you need to buy the most expensive option every time, but it's worth considering the long-term cost of ownership. Investing in quality items that will last can save you money in the long run. Do your research, read reviews, and compare prices. Look for durable materials, good warranties, and brands with a reputation for quality. Remember, sometimes it's worth spending a little more upfront to avoid bigger expenses down the road. Listen, I'm all for a good DIY project. There's a sense of accomplishment that comes with fixing something yourself. But there's a big difference between tackling a simple paint job and attempting major home repairs without the proper knowledge or experience. Sure, you might save some money up front by skipping the plumber or electrician, but what happens when that leaky faucet turns into a flooded bathroom, or that faulty wiring sparks an electrical fire? Suddenly you're looking at much bigger expenses for professional repairs, not to mention potential damage to your home. Some things are best left to the pros. Unless you're a trained professional yourself, it's generally wise to leave major electrical, plumbing, structural, or appliance repairs to those who have the expertise and experience. That doesn't mean you can't learn some basic DIY skills for minor repairs and maintenance. There are tons of great resources available online, like YouTube tutorials and online courses that can teach you the basics of home maintenance. But know your limits. If you're not comfortable tackling a particular repair, don't be afraid to call in a professional. It's better to be safe than sorry. And it could save you a lot of money and headaches in the long run. It's easy to think of regular maintenance as an unnecessary expense, something you can skip to save a few bucks. But trust me, neglecting regular maintenance on your car, appliances, and home can lead to some seriously expensive problems down the line. Think about it. Skipping oil changes can lead to engine damage. Neglecting your car's brakes can put your safety at risk. And ignoring that small leak in your roof, well, that could turn into a major mold issue. Regular maintenance is like going to the doctor for a checkup. It helps catch small problems early on, before they turn into major and expensive headaches. Make a schedule for regular maintenance tasks, like oil changes, tire rotations, and air filter replacements for your car. For appliances, refer to the owner's manual for recommended maintenance schedules. And don't forget about your home. Regularly inspect your roof, gutters, and foundation for any signs of damage. Clean your gutters, check for leaks, and make sure your appliances are properly ventilated. Remember, a little bit of preventative maintenance can save you a ton of money on costly repairs or replacements in the future. Buying in bulk can be a great way to save money, especially on non-perishable items you use regularly. But there's a fine line between stocking up and going overboard. That giant tub of mayonnaise might seem like a steal, but not if half of it ends up going bad before you can use it. The same goes for those mega packs of produce or that 5-pound bag of flour. Before you fill your cart with bulk buys, ask yourself a few questions. Will you actually use all of this before it expires? Do you have enough storage space? Is it really a good deal if you end up throwing half of it away? Be realistic about your consumption habits and storage capacity. If you live alone or have limited refrigerator space, buying in bulk might not be the best strategy. Focus on buying in bulk for items you use frequently and that have a long shelf life, like toiletries, cleaning supplies, or non-perishable pantry staples. And don't be afraid to split bulk buys with friends or family members. It's a great way to save money and ensure you're actually using what you buy. So there you have it. While being frugal can save you money, it's important to be mindful of these pitfalls. Extreme couponing, always buying the cheapest option, neglecting maintenance, and going overboard on bulk buys can end up costing you more in the long run. Remember, true frugality is about being smart with your money, not just spending less. It's about finding that sweet spot between saving and living a comfortable, fulfilling life. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tips on smart spending. See you next time.